And today he's telling them about end times. Now, there's a lot of teachers and preachers out there that use these apocalyptic writings as a way to scare people, to instill fear in people, to try to perhaps fill pews by scaring them into their church. Jesus never scared anybody into church. He loved them, he cared for them, he provided hope for them. And that's what he's doing today. Mark Twain was asked once what he thought about death. Was he afraid of dying? And he said, no, I have no fear of death. He said, after all, I was dead for billions and billions and billions of years before I was born. And I don't remember any negative consequences from that. So that's Mark Twain. So the word, the apocalypse or apocalyptic writings, that word means the opening of a veil, the opening of a curtain. When you're in your house, your curtains are closed, you hear noise outside. Your mind can tell you all kinds of things are happening. And sometimes it could scare us because we don't know what's happening outside. But we open the curtain and we say, oh, it's just kids playing out on the street or on the sidewalk. And so by opening the curtain, we're provided a sense of understanding. And what Jesus is doing when he's talking about end times, he's opening the curtain to us, for us, of what's going to happen at the end, his second coming. He's letting us know what it's going to be. Not so that we're afraid, but so that we know. We know that we have a God who created all things, and that same God knows our past, and he knows the future. And that same God is there for us always. And because of Jesus' sacrifice, we will be with that God forever and all eternity. So the purpose of Jesus telling the story of the end times and saying that heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away, are not to scare us or frighten us, but to give us hope and an understanding that he will always be there for us, that he will always be with us. To those of us who follow his word, for those of us that get into a relationship with God through Jesus Christ. He is providing these end time statements as a form of comfort, a form of hope for us. Any preacher who uses them to scare people is not understanding the purpose of Jesus. Jesus is opening the curtain with these apocalyptic statements so that we do not fear, so that we have hope, and so that we don't keep wondering about when it's going to happen. He says in today's readings, no one knows, only the Father. The angels in heaven don't know. Jesus says that he doesn't even know when the end is going to come. He says that not to scare us again, but to let us know we don't have to worry about it. It's going to happen when it happens. So what is our job, our responsibility? To live each day as if it could be the last day. And again, we shouldn't be afraid of it, because that last day, that second coming of Jesus, is going to mean that we will be with him, if we've lived the right kind of life, in heaven for all eternity. Again, these end times, these apocalyptic writings are designed to give us hope and an understanding, to open the curtain on the beauty of what is there for us, the all eternity in heaven with God. I've been an actor for over 60 years. And I remember years ago I was told by a famous actor that you should perform each time as if it's your very first time playing that role, and as if it's the last time playing that role. So I've been performing for 40 years, my Simon Peters and St. Joseph and Judas and Peter and Paul and Luke and Francis of Assisi, and I play them all over the world, and I play them again and again and again. And I keep reminding myself each time I go out and perform these characters, perform them as if I'm performing them for the very first time, and as if it is going to be the last time I ever perform them. And that makes them fresh, real, and new each time. One of the best compliments an actor can get is, boy, that was just as if you were ad-libbing it. That was just extemporaneous. That was so clean. That was so fresh. That was so real and believable. That's a wonderful compliment to get. And I want to suggest that that is what Jesus is telling us to do, to live each day of our life as if it's the first day and as if it's the last day. And if we do that, each day we wake up and we say, okay, how can I address this day? How can I live this day as if it was my very first day on this earth, in this world, and as if it's going to be my very last day. If we can do that with our life, then we will understand what Jesus is talking about in his end times conversation. We will understand what he is motivating us to do. We will understand the hope that he is trying to give to us by opening up the curtains. Amen? Let's live our lives today and every day as if it's our first day and as if it's our last day. And let's embrace that hope that comes from Jesus Christ. Amen? This is Mark Price. Thanks for listening.